All right, students, good morning. We move into problem number four, solve problem number four in design of bevel gears. The problem statement for problem four is as follows. A pair of straight bevel gears mounted on shafts which are intersecting at right angles consists of a 24 teeth pinion meshing with a 32 teeth gear. The pinion shaft is connected to an electric motor developing 12.5 kilowatt rated power at 1440 RPM. The starting torque of the motor is 150% of the rated torque. The pressure angle is 20 degrees. Both gears are made of case hardened steel. Ultimate tensile strength of 750 Newton per millimeter square. The teeth on gears are generated and finished by grinding and lapping processes to meet the requirements of class 3 grade. The factor of safety in the preliminary stages of design is 2. In the initial stages of gear design, assume that velocity factor accounts for the dynamic load and the pitch line velocity is 7.5 meters per second. Estimate the module based on beam strength. Select the first preference value of the module and calculate the main dimensions of the gears. Determine the dynamic load using Buckingham's equation and find out the effective load for the above dimensions. What is the correct factor of safety for bending? Specify the surface hardness for the gears, assuming a factor of safety of 2 for wear consideration. Alright, so this is the problem that we have now. If you note here, we had solved a similar problem for spur gears. More or less same parameters were given and they had asked us to design for the spur gear. This is but here they have asked us to design a bevel gear. Application remains more or less same. Okay. Important point to note in the problem statement is the shafts are mounted at right angles. Therefore, it will be a theta is equal to 90 degrees, right? So most probably we'll be using a meter gear for here for this application. The gear teeth are known to us. Service factor is given as 1.5. Since we know ultimate strength, we can find out allowable static stress as ultimate strength divided by 3. Okay. Another very important thing factor to note here is they have given us initial factor of safety. A value of 2 is given. When you know initial factor of safety, we can obtain module based on the factor of safety itself. When they say in question 1, estimate the module based on beam strength, that means take into account factor of safety and obtain beam strength. Alright. Okay. They have also asked us for the actual factor of safety taking into account a bending failure, which we will have to calculate. Alright, so let's list the data and then get into the solution in the next slide. Okay, so the data that we have is these are the data that we have, and to find module, gear dimensions, dynamic load, effective load, actual factor of safety, and Brindle hardness numbers. All right, so let's in the slide I've already calculated the allowable static stress, ultimate static strength by 3, which is 250 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so this has been done already. So we look into the solution in the next slide. Okay, so solution as usual begins with gear ratio to determine the unknown factors. We know both the number of teeth on both pinion and gear, therefore we can calculate gear ratio as 1.33. Speed of the pinion is known, therefore we can calculate speed of the gear and we get it as 1082.7 RPM. Since both pinion and gear are made up of the same material, we can tell that pinion is the weaker member, therefore design calculations are based on pinion. Alright. Now then for bevel gears, we will have to immediately calculate the pitch angles delta 1 and delta 2. Since the angle between shaft is 90 degrees, we take right angled bevel gears and calculate delta 1 as 36.87 and delta 2 as 53.13. Right, so bevel gears are like obtained, and then obviously we will have to calculate the formative number of teeth or virtual number of teeth, equation 12.35d, and we get the equivalent number of teeth as 30 for pinion, 53.33 for the gear. Alright, now knowing these virtual number of teeth, we can now calculate the Lewis form factor using equation 12.5c, and we get the Lewis form factors as 0.1236 and 0.1369. Since we are designing for a pinion, we will be interested in y1, which is equal to 0.1236. This is Lewis form factor. You'll have to multiply this by pi to obtain the form factor. Alright, okay, so now we need to calculate module. Alright, so before that we will have to calculate the tangential tooth load. Right, so that we will see it in the next slide. Okay, so let's calculate the tangential tooth load. Initially we will apply the power equation, right? So the tangential tooth load using power equation, velocity is already given, right? In the problem statement they have mentioned that the pitch line velocity is 7.5 meters per second. Okay, so and service factor, we know they have given it as 150% of rated torque, which is equal to 1.5. So substitute it into the FT1 power equation and solve for tangential tooth load, and we get it as 2500 Newton. Alright, take into account the fact that you have already multiplied it with 1.5. Okay, now usually in previous problems we used to go ahead and calculate tangential tooth load using Lewis equation, where you will get the CV and cube value, follow the trial and error method and obtain module. Right, now that was the usual method of designing gas. But in this problem, if you read the problem statement, it is mentioned that calculate module using beam strength, and they have given us initial factor of safety. Alright, therefore the approach to calculate module is specified in the problem itself. Alright, therefore we need to design or calculate module using beam strength value, using factor of safety of 2, initial factor of safety of 2. Okay, so let's do that now. Beam strength, you know, can be obtained from Lewis equation by taking out CV, we get the beam strength. Okay, cone length you can calculate d1 square plus d2 square by 2. Since we don't know d1 and d2, we can express it in terms of a module, and you get cone length as 20 module. Alright, 20 m. Okay, we actually get it as 20 m. Okay, now if you look at the beam strength, we also need to know the face width b. Now from equation 12.26 a and b, we know that face width can be either 10 module or L by 3 module. Right, now since and among these two we will pick the smaller value. Okay, now in this case you can see that L by 3, that is 6.67 module, is smaller. Therefore we stick to face width equal to 6.67 module. Alright, now form factor you can calculate pi into Lewis form factor for the pinion, we get it as 0.43. Okay, now we know all the factors, substitute it into the beam strength formula, and you get beam strength as 477.897 module square. Alright, so this is the beam strength formula here. Beam strength like equation. Okay, now since factor of safety is known to us, we can calculate effective force, which we know is tangential tooth load divided by CV. Okay, it is actually CS FT1 by CV, but CS we have already taken into account in the power equation. Therefore, you only divide by CV. Now, CV value we are yet to calculate. Now, in your handbook, you can see that for generated teeth, not form cut teeth, but for generated teeth, the specific equation for velocity factor is 12.38b. Alright, so you need to use 12.38b, which is 6.1 divided by 6.1 plus the velocity factor, velocity, right? Velocity is 7.5, pitch line velocity is 7.5, and we get velocity factor as 0.449, right? Remember that this equation for CV is specific for generated teeth. For form cut teeth, equation is different. All right. Okay. So effective force can now be calculated. You know tangential tooth load as 2500. Velocity factor is 0.449. You divide and you will get effective force. Once you know effective force, you can calculate you can substitute this into the factor of safety formula, right, which we will see it in the next slide. Okay, so we know that effective load is tangential tooth load by CV. Therefore effective load turns out to be 5567.93 in Newton. Okay, now they have asked you to calculate module based on beam strength. Okay, now for safe design we know that beam strength should be equal to effective strength into factor of safety. All right, now factor of safety is given as 2. All right, therefore you can substitute the factor beam strength. We have calculated it as 477.897 module square. This is equal to effective force. We have calculated it as 5567.93 into factor of safety given in the problem as 2. Okay. Now this equation can be solved and obtained and solved for module, right? So solving for module, you will get 4.8 mm. Okay. Now in the problem, they have asked us to choose the first preference value. Okay. Now first preference value is given in table 12.24, specific to bevel gas. Okay, so you substitute that and you will get module, and from the table you will see that the closest first preference value is 5 mm. Therefore in this problem the module should be considered as 5 mm. Alright, okay. Now the next thing which they have asked us to determine are the main gear dimensions. Okay, so now that we know module, which is equal to 5 mm, you can go ahead and calculate pitch circle diameter of pinion, because you know the number of teeth in the pinion as 24. You will get D1 as 120. Similarly, pitch circle diameter of the gear can be calculated as MZ2. It turns out to be 160 mm. Cone distance, which we had calculated as 20 module, will now get into an actual value of 100 mm. Face width, which was 6.67 module, will become 33.35 mm. Okay, so for the main gear dimensions have been obtained. Okay, now what else have they asked us to find? They have asked us to calculate the dynamic load and then effective load. Okay, and then determine the actual factor of safety. Alright, so let's begin with the dynamic load. Okay, we know that for bevel gauge, dynamic load equation is same as that of the spur gauge, right? But then velocity, which was initially taken as 7.5, will have to be refined now. Why? Because we know that velocity is pi d n by 60 and the diameter value we have just now obtained as 120. Therefore, a more accurate value of pitch line velocity can be calculated by using the calculated value of D1 as 120, and you get linear velocity as 9.05 meters per second. Okay. Now, and also, as I spoke to you in the previous recorded video, that is solve problem number 3. For better accuracy, I feel that in the dynamic load formula, Buckingham's dynamic load formula, the FTP value year and year needs to be the tangential tooth load without the effect of CS. Alright. Now with CS, we have obtained FTP as 2500 in the previous slide. Now for dynamic load, what I will do is that 2500 I will divide by service factor CS, which is equal to 1.5. When I divide 2500 by 1.5, I get 1666.67. That is the value I will substitute it here. Okay, that is the value that I will substitute here, and then the only unknown now in the dynamic load equation is the dynamic factor C. Now, dynamic factor C you need to calculate from table 12.13. Okay, sorry, from 12.13 you will get the Gare error for class 3 and module 5, which is 0.0150. So from table 12.12 you will see that the required dynamic factor lies between 0.01 and 0.02. Interpolate it and then get dynamic load dynamic factor as 171.65. Okay, so substitute C in the dynamic load formula and you will get dynamic load, which we will see in the next slide. Okay, so substituting all the factors, you get the dynamic load now as 6421.22 Newton. Alright, so dynamic load is obtained. Then they have asked you to calculate effective load. Okay, now effective load taking into account the dynamic load. Alright, so taking dynamic load into account, the effective load will become tangential tooth load plus dynamic load, which turns out to be 8921.22. 8921.22 Newton. Okay, now you have effective load now. Okay, now they have asked us to calculate factor of safety, actual factor of safety against bending failure. Alright, therefore beam strength, which we have expressed at 477.897 module square, if you substitute module as equal to 5, which we have recently calculated, substitute module equal to 5 and you will get the beam strength as 11,947.425 Newton. Okay, therefore the actual factor of safety against bending failure can now be obtained as bending strength by effective load, 11,947.425 divided by 8,921.22, which is 1.34. This is the factor of safety, actual factor of safety. Initial factor of safety was 2, but based on beam strength, we can compute the actual factor of safety as 1.34. Alright, so the last part of the problem was to determine determine the surface hardness of pinion and gear. Okay, for that they have in the problem statement they have again asked us to consider a factor of safety of 2 against wear failure. Okay, all right. So we will be, as usual, we will begin with the wear load equation for bevel gears given in equation 12.41. Okay, ratio factor we will calculate it as 1.2799. Now for safe design, we know that factor of safety is equal to wear load by effective force. Now they have asked us to consider a factor of safety of 2, right? Therefore substitute factor of safety equal to 2 and calculate the wear load. Wear load turns out to be 17,842.44 Newton. Okay. Now to obtain Brinell hardness number, we need to know the value of K. Okay. All right. So now we know that wear load is equal to 17,842.44. Equate it with the wear load formula. You know all the other factors but for K. Therefore, you can solve for K. K turns out to be 2.786. Alright. Now, in table 12.16, the value of K closest to 2.786 is 3.226. Right. And for 3.226, you will get Brinell hardness numbers for steel and 20 degrees, that is steel pinion and steel gear, and 20 degree pressure angle. You will get BHN for pinion and BHN for gear as 450. Alright, so this is how you design bevel gears for the application specified in solve problem number 4. I think we have solved 4 solved problems in bevel gear, so I will follow this up with assignment questions for bevel gauge. Okay. See you around. Bye.